Okay, good evening, dear women. Let's bless בעזרת השם, שיגיע משיח תתקנו במהרה בימינו אמן, שיגיע מבשר אליהו הנביא, אליהו תשבי, אליהו גליד מרם שכמדולים, אליהו הנביא זכור לטוב. Dear women, I would like to remind you that this Shabbat בעזרת השם is Shabbat מברכים. Shabbat מברכים, ראש חודש כסלו. ראש חודש כסלו, dear women, we had the miracle of Hanukkah. So this is a month of miracles, dear women. So please on Shabbat read the whole Tehillim. If you can go to the shul and then you can divide it between you, it's good. But if you can't, so call friends home and read it together. And if you cannot do that, please divide the Tehillim before Shabbat between your friends, and each one at home can read it together. You'll finish the whole book of Tehillim. It's a big segula to read the whole Tehillim on Shabbat, especially on Shabbat Mevarchim Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh will be 2 days, Bezrat Hashem. It's Sunday and Monday, which means Motzei Shabbat is already the eve of Rosh Chodesh. Okay? Motzei Shabbat זה כבר ערב ראש חודש נשים יקרות. And as we do it before Rosh Chodesh, I give you the name that we need to visualize of Hashem, the right combination of the name of God, Yud Kei Vav Kei, that you need to give your husbands, your sons, everybody that says Musaf shel Rosh Chodesh. יפה לך נירה, לא ראיתי אותך עם משקפיים. Musaf shel Rosh Chodesh, dear women. So, it comes for the month of Kislev, dear women. It comes from the pasuk Vayar Yoshev Haaretz HaKnaani. It comes from Parashat Chukat, dear women. And this, we can see the initials of each word is the name of God, the right combination of the name of God. Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud Kei Vav. You remember I write Kuf instead of Hey. Okay, the name of mercy of Hashem. This is the right combination for the month of Elul. It's Vayar, Vav, and then Yud, Yoshev, Haaretz, it's Kuf. I'm saying Kuf, but it's Hey over here. You see, HaKnaani. And then the next name of Hashem is Yud, Aleph, Kuf, dear women. Okay? So write it in your Sidurim when you come to Musaf Shel Rosh Chodesh and you say, Baruch Ata Hashem. You say, Baruch Ata Hashem, Mekadesh Yisrael, Verashei Chodashim, dear women. When you come to this in the Sidur, B'Musaf Shel Rosh Chodesh, B'Musaf Shel Rosh Chodesh, dear women, when you come, Musaf Shel Rosh Chodesh, מה? רק שחרית. Dear women, when we daven on Rosh Chodesh, we have the regular davening. After we finish Shmona Esrei, we say Hallel. After the Hallel, we read from the Torah. After we read from the Torah, we say Musaf Shel Rosh Chodesh. Musaf starts, dear women, with Tfilat Shmona Esrei, the prayer of standing, the 18 blessings, dear women. So, at the middle of the prayer of Musaf, okay, Musaf Shel Rosh, at the middle you see it's written Baruch Ata Hashem, Mekadesh Yisrael Verashei Chodashim. So when we say this, we stop over here, Mekadesh Yisrael, and we visualize the letters in front of our eyes. The Arizal says, why do the children of Israel daven and our prayers are not answered? So he says, because we do not know how to visualize, lechaven, to concentrate on the name of God for that month. So you have the right combination of the name of God to the month of Kislev, dear women. It's a big merit. It opens a gate of prosperity in parnasa, in income, in health, in getting married, in having nachat from the children. It doesn't only open for us a gate for prosperity, it opens for Klal Yisrael, and the whole world is blessed by this. So it's very important. Each month, like we have 12 months in a year, we have 12 constellations, and we have, dear women, 12 hours of a day and 12 hours of a night. We have 12 combinations of the name of God, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud Kei Vav Kei itself is the combination of the month of Nisan. For the month of Kislev, these are the two combinations for the month of Kislev, dear women. So Bezrat Hashem, when you daven, please remember and concentrate. Write it in your Sidur. Write it over there, okay? Now, dear women, I'm going to continue, Bezrat Hashem,
רגע, מקדש ישראל.
ואז אומרים בראשי חודשים. ממשיכים בראשי חודשים. You stop over here, מקדש ישראל, and you concentrate on the letters, then you continue בראשי חודשים. I wrote it in initials of it, okay? ראשי חודשים. This is ראשי חודשים. The head of months. Okay? זה ראשי חודשים. What we are going to speak today, dear women, is Olam Habba. Olam Habba. The next world, the true world. You remember we started if there is Olam Habba, if the souls have a continuation. We had a whole lesson about it. You remember I spoke about Shmuel HaNavi, that the king Shaul went to a woman that calls the dead, and Ma'ala Ba'ov it's called, and she awakened Shmuel HaNavi. You remember? So we had a whole lesson. Now we're going to speak of what is Olam Habba? Where is Olam Habba? When is Olam Habba? Okay, there's a big machloket, Brucha Haba Neshama, a big machloket, dear women, about Olam Habba. So I will start first of all, before we go to Olam Habba, let's remember, we studied about birth and life, you remember, and the importance of a name of a person. That the name of a person, the letters of the name of a person is the tube of prosperity of that person. From the letters he gets either kindness, mercy, or judgment, la alenu. If a person is sick, it means that there's judgment upon his name. The tube of prosperity of the letters of his name are getting judgment instead of mercy, la alenu. So a person by his name, he can change the Bezrat Hashem, and others can help him by davening for him to change from judgment to kindness. I won't go to it because we have a lot of lessons about it. Dear women, I just want to remind you, if you have a name, don't shorten the name, because when you shorten, you take off letters from the name that are part of the tube of prosperity. For example, if you are called Sigalit, don't call yourself Sigi or Sigal. It's shortening the name. If you are called Mordechai, don't call yourself Mordechai. Call yourself Mordechai. If your name is Abraham, call yourself Abraham and not Avi. Avi may be a nickname, but Abraham is the tube of prosperity. All the letters are tube of prosperity. You understand? Don't shorten. You have two names, use them. Because all of these are letters that give you tube of prosperity, dear women. So then we went to the part of death, which is the separation between, because birth, we spoke, it's combining soul and body. Death is the separation. We separate soul and body. Then we spoke about death. You remember it was a very heavy shiur. It was a very heavy shiur. We spoke what happens when the soul goes out. What does the soul see? And we did that by Reishit Chochma של רבי אליהו דיווידא זכותו תגן עלינו. You know, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef זכותו תגן עלינו. He studied when he was young Reishit Chochma. A lot of tzaddikim studied Reshit Chochma. Reshit Chochma wrote Rabbi Eliyahu Dividah Zchuto Tagen Aleinu, and I want to tell you, he was the student of Rabbi Moshe Cordovero. He was a scholar of Rabbi Moshe Cordovero Zchuto Tagen Aleinu. All of this is part of Tomer Devorah. We're continuing Tomer Devorah, dear women. So this is the separation of soul and body. Tchiyat HaMetim, which it's the resurrection. It's the coming back, the connecting soul and body again. Now, in between Tchiyat HaMetim and the next world, there's a big issue. Where is the next world? The true world. Where did Shmuel HaNavi go? Where are all the tzaddikim? Where did they go? Where are all the wicked people go? Where is the reward for a person who davens and does what Hashem wants him in this world and keeps mitzvot? So where is the reward? The whole question is about the reward, dear women. So the Rambam says the next world, dear women, is the world of souls, is Gan Eden, paradise. We call it paradise. The Ramban says, and the Ramchal say, they say, dear women, that the next world is after Tchiyat HaMetim, is the resurrection. This is the next world. Big issue. First of all, I would like to touch death for a minute. Is death a punishment Shh. Is death a punishment, dear women? Or it's part of nature? It's not a punishment, it's part of nature. So the Gaon Mevilna Schodot again, and it says about it like this. I couldn't bring all the books, but part of them I just copied for myself on a piece of paper. So the Gaon Mevilna says, God said, on the day that you will eat from the tree of knowledge, good and bad, you will die. That day you are going to die. Ein ze onesh. It's not a punishment, says the Gaon Mevilna. Ela says, Teva ha'ilan kazeh. This is the nature of the tree. This is the nature of the tree. The tree of knowledge, good and bad, this is the nature. Once you eat from it, you will die. Why will you die, says the Gaon? Because you will become more physical in this world. Before you were spiritual, you will become more physical, and then gashmi, that it gashem ba'olam hazeh, you'll become more physical. It's like an egg. If you take the white of the egg and you look at it at the beginning, so you can look, it's see-through, you can see through it, and it's like jelly, it's not hard. But if you'll start mixing it, it will become white and hard. Nachon, it will become, this is the same thing. Before, the first human being was spiritual. I'm just comparing it to the egg, just so you have a sense about what I'm speaking. He was spiritual, but once he ate from the tree of knowledge, good and bad, and the evil inclination went inside him, now he was physical. Now everything became physical. This world, when the spiritual world went down to a physical world. Now the test is harsher. In order that you will fix yourself, because you became physical, the body has to go to the ground, to be eaten in the ground. Me'afar bata ve'la'afar tashuv. You came from dust and you'll go back to dust. Ze chayav, because it's part of nature. It has to do the fixing, because it's part of the nachash, of the serpent. So, dear women, the chayav, it has to be... Serpent, dear women. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. So, dear women, it's part of nature. So it's not a punishment, it's part of nature. Because the first human being ate from the tree of knowledge. God does not punish us. All the suffering that we have is because of our own deeds. Everything that we did, all the not so good angels that stand on the left side, they are the ones that cause us suffering. Dear women, it's because of us, dear women. So let's continue. And it says, Elafar tashuv, if it was a punishment, dear women, let's say it was a punishment death, then Chanoch ve'Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu the prophet, wouldn't go up to heaven with their body. You understand? They would have had to be separated. But it's not a punishment, dear women. I'm sorry, I said that something opposite.
Yeah.
If it was God, it wasn't nature and it was a punishment, dear women, listen very carefully. Then we see that Eliyahu the prophet, and we see that Chanoch, dear women, they caused their spiritual body to become so holy, so sanctified, that with their body they went to heaven. Mm-hmm. This means that they overcome nature of the body. You understand? So it means that it's not a punishment. This is part of nature, dear women. In order to cleanse your body, it has to go to the ground. The earth has to eat, because we were created from earth. It has to go back and to be eaten by earth. So the Gemara says this is the nature of the tree. Once he ate from the tree, and this is the nature of the tree, this separation has to come. Soul has to be separated. Where does the soul go? It goes up to heaven. Why do we need this connection between soul and body? So the Ramchal says, B'derech Hashem, he says, why do we need this? Because before, when we were under the throne of Hashem, Tachat Kisei Kavod, then we received the light of Hashem, dear women, in mercy. God gave us we had good time over there. We loved it because we knew Hashem and we were under His throne, and the light was all over us, and that souls were happy and felt the love of Hashem. God says, but you don't truly know me. I'm giving you mercy. Now, in order that you will have the merit to have my mercy, I will send you to this world. And in this world, you will have tests and experiences. And you come to, in order just to know me. Once you know me, you will announce my name in this world. Just like Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu, which was in a world that everybody worshipped idols, he paid attention. It was analyzing what he saw around him, and he said, wait, there has to be an owner to this world. This world does not act on its own. Somebody created this world. And then by analyzing what he sees and the way nature behaves, he came to this conclusion that there's a God into this world. Im yesh bira, yesh livriyut, emet. Ba'al bira, dear women. So this is how he came, by analyzing in his mind, basechel, what he saw in this world. So God says you came to this world in order to now analyze it. Once you analyze and you recognize that I'm here, you have to announce my name and do exactly what I want you to do in this world. The Baal Shem Tov says, every person, dear women, where his thoughts are, this is where he is. For example, if I'm davening, I'm praying, and I'm thinking, wow, I need to do the laundry, and I need to go to the school now, to drive over there, to take the children, I need to do this. Now, I'm not really davening, I'm already over there. My thoughts took me over there. I think this is where I am. So, dear women, we can make hell in this world, and we can have heaven in this world. Why? Because if we all the time are concentrating on our suffering in this world, and this thing I miss, and this thing, and I have loans that I have to pay, and my children do not behave every time like I want them to do, and my husband does this, and my friend does this, and I have problems with this woman and that woman, dear women, we are in hell already over here. Already by our thoughts, we are in hell over here. But if we say everything is from Hashem, everybody is a messenger, we are already in paradise because we are happy with what Hashem gave us. If we are happy, we are grateful. If we are grateful, no bad angel can touch us. No one can touch us. So eventually, what happens to us is our own deed. We do it to ourselves. What a person can do to himself, nobody can do to him. So let's continue and see. The Ramchal says, so what is eventually this reward for being good in this world and knowing Hashem and announcing His name in this world? So the Ramchal says we can compare it to the reward to a sachar. You know, there's a worker that has a job. So when he comes, he works like from 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. He has a limitation of time, and he has he has to show profit for his work, okay? And then what he gets, a sachar, the reward that he gets for it, the money that he gets, okay, it's temporary money because every month he has to work for it again. But think about a man that buys a house. You buy a home. So this is not temporary, and you buy a home and you put things inside and you are inside your own home and you make it nice and pretty. The Rambam says it gives you nachat ruach. It makes a person feel good when he has a nice home, a nice wife, nice things in his home. It makes him happy. And now he can be inside his home and look at the home and say, wow, he feels nachat, he feels good. This is a sachar that has a long life. This is a merit that for a longer time. So the merit that we have in the true world is for eternity. Where is the true world? Unlimited for eternity. So where is the true world? So the Rambam says, the true world, dear women, he says, B'ilchot Shuvah, we are opening the Rambam. Ilchot Shuvah, we are speaking about Mishneh Torah לרמב"ם. הטובה הצפונה לצדיקים היא חיי העולם הבא. The goodness that is prepared for the righteous is for the righteous in the next world. והם החיים שאין עימהם מוות. There's no death over there. והטובה שאין עימה רע. No bad things. Everything is good. Everything around them is good. הוא שכתוב בתורה, למען ייטב לך והארכת ימים. Because if you will keep the mitzvot and you will do good deeds in this world and you will remember that there's a God that's watching you, that two sets of eyes that are watching us all the time, around each and every one of us, there are two angels, good and bad. Even in the darkest room, they can see what we do. Now, if we do a good deed, the not so good angel says amen after the good angel, because we cause him to be a slave to the good angel. But if we do things that are not in the sake of Hashem, we don't do things that God has nachat from it, then the good angel has to say amen after the bad angel. But there are eyes that see us. We are not alone. We just have a border here, on a limitation on our eyes. We do not see it. Once the limitation will go out, we will see it. But then this will happen only when we pass to the next world, when the soul goes out of the body. But then this is too late. We cannot change anything anymore. Once we pass away, then we don't have any mitzvot anymore. We cannot fix it. We only depend on our children, and we do not know if they will fix it or not. Okay, so this is very important that we remember in this world, dear women. And it continues, and it says like this: Ha'olam haba ein bo guf ve'gvia. The true world, there's no body, no gvia is also a body in Hebrew. Ela nefashot hatzadikim, only the souls of the righteous bilvad, belo guf kemalachei hasharet, like angels, dear women. And we know that Eliyahu Navi was just like an angel. With his body he went to the next world, which means his body became spiritual, just like the first human being. And Chanoch, his body became spiritual. Mamash, that's why they could go with it. How can a person do a kfitzat derech? We see that Eliezer Eved Avraham, the slave of Avraham, he went to Haran to bring a wife for Yitzchak. And he has a jumping of the road. In one day, he gets to Haran, dear women. Why? Because the righteous ones, dear women, their body is not physical anymore. That's why a lot of rabbis could have studied, even if they were abroad. They weren't in Israel. They could study in yeshivot in Israel. In Tzfat, they could study Kabbalah. In Jerusalem, they could study, because there's no limitation of the body. The body limits us in space and place. We cannot go out. If I need to go from here, I'm in Queens now, to go to Brooklyn, I have to walk from here to go to my car, to go to a bus or a cab or to a train, and then to go over there. I cannot jump from here over there, just think about it and go there. But not the righteous. The true righteous people, they can. Mamash, can. They can, dear women. Yes?
Yes, same body.
Yes?
Same body, yeah.
Dear women. And they can go, and they can also go to a yeshivot in heaven, because they are not limited by their physical body. Surely, what does it mean to be limited by their physical body? You know what does it mean? By da'agot. By being worried about things. Why are we limited? Because we are worried about everything. We cannot separate the worries from ourselves. This is a limitation. Why? Then we are attached to the physical world. We cling to it. We hold it. Because what will be with my children when they will get married? Our grandchildren, my husband doesn't feel well, this happens. If we just put our trust in Hashem and understand that everything comes from Him, it's only a test. We can change everything here. In our minds, the reality can change. אז זהו, זה הקושי. אז what do the righteous do? They say, first of all, God, thank you. All of these worries, thank you, God. This is part of our fixing. זה חלק מהתיקון שלנו. Now help us to fix it, and they're in simcha. When you are happy, even about the sorrows that you have, you bring the good angels around you. You are separated from this physical world, because the physical world just pulls you down. That's the job of the evil inclination. It pulls you down. Why? Because of all of the worries. Look, this you miss, this you miss. You look at the half cup that is empty instead of the half cup that is full. That it's natural for all of us, because this is the evil inclination. You know how hard it is in this world to be happy? It's very hard. It's very hard to be happy. Think about it. How many times, make a list, during 24 hours a day, take out the time that you're asleep, but the time that you're awake, how many times are you happy? Yeah, so you don't have to think. And when you're asleep, don't you have thoughts in your mind that you're worried about this and worried about... So sometimes you don't even sleep well. So dear women, think about it. So our job, dear women, you remember, להיות בשמחה. We have to be בשמחה because happiness, I told you, this is it's not a recipe, מרשם של רופא, איך אומרים מרשם של רופא? Prescription, בסדר. Dear women, this is the מרשם של רופא. In order to be healthy, to be well, we need to be happy. Happiness...
See you and tell you how much problem you have, and you're smiling. What you smiling? People think it.
Yes, because they do not understand. Because when we don't smile, when we don't smile, when we are angry, when we are sad, when we are depressed, dear women, this is the evil inclination. Why the evil inclination? When we do this, it means that we are not grateful. We are ungrateful. Because of the children of Israel that were ungrateful to Hashem when they were in the desert and they sent the spies and they cried B'chiyat Chinam, B'chiyat Chinam. Without a reason, dear women, they cried without a reason. God punished them, gave them 40 years in the desert, and until now we are punished because of B'chiyat Chinam. Mamash, when we cry without any true reason. Because of that, until today, we have problems. It didn't finish. What is crying in vain? Crying in vain, dear women, is being ungrateful. Not saying thank you to Hashem. When we are happy, it means, God, I understand that I came over here just to do my fixing. Everything that happens to me is from you. If I have a test, it means that I have the strength to stand in this test and to complete the test, and with success. This makes us grateful to Hashem. When we are happy, we have parnasa. שיהיה לכם ברור. We don't have problems of income. When we are happy, we have income. How? You will see the miracles of God. He gives it to you. But you have to be happy. To remember and to be happy. והיית אך שמח, it's the name of parnasa. Look over here, dear women. I told you already this. והיית, and you should be only happy. אך שמח. This is the name of parnasa. The last letters. You should be happy. The name of Parnasah of Hashem. It comes from Poteach et Yadecha. Poteach et Yadecha. You open your hands, dear women. You see, this is the name of Parnasah of Hashem. So, dear women, happiness brings Parnasah. Happiness brings wealth. I already told you, I gave you a lesson about it. If it's hard to be happy, even if we're not happy at the beginning with our hearts, we should practice being happy. How do we practice being happy? Smiling, exactly. Once we smile, so even if it doesn't touch our hearts at the beginning, it comes to our hearts. We teach ourselves. It comes mamash, it touches, and then we know how to be grateful to Hashem. This is being grateful. What does God want from us? He gives us everything, you know. Even if we need to go to the restroom to pee or to do the next thing, God, everything is measured, everything is decided in heaven. Everything. So if God sees to it that everything in our body will work well, and we will go, Baruch Hashem, and we will do it, we will take out our waste and we'll eat on time, dear women. This is from Hashem. So He gives us everything that we need. Baruch Hashem gave us children, gave us husband, Baruch Hashem. We have siblings, we have families, we have a nation. So look, we have roof over our head. We have food on the table. What do we need more? Why do we need a mansion? We don't need a mansion. No, achuzah. Nobody needs a mansion. We need just a roof over our head. All the righteous people, look at them. All of the righteous people, they lived in a small house. Because this is temporary. It's not eternal. This is the temporary. This is manirak. This is what we need for our fixing. We do not need any more than that. We just need to follow the ways of Hashem. So the Rambam continues and said, the next world does not have any body. Dear women. הואיל ואין בו גוויות, אין בו לא אכילה ולא שתייה. Says because it doesn't have a body, there's no eating and drinking. because you don't need to support the body with food, physical food in this world. ולא דבר מכל הדברים שגופות בני אדם צריכים, and nothing from all the things that the body of human beings need in this world. He takes this from ברכות י"ז, from במסכת ברכות, page 17, okay? It says over there, dear women, העולם הבא, אין בו לא אכילה ולא שתייה, the next world does not have not eating, no drinking, לא פרייה ורבייה, there's no intimacy to bring children, ולא משא ומתן, there's no, when we do business with each other, לא קנאה, no jealousy, dear women, לא שנאה, no hatred, לא competition, no תחרות, אלא צדיקים יושבים ועטרותיהם בראשיהם. But righteous people sit and their crowns are on their head. תראו, just think about it. It means that the physical body does not need, but we do eat. What do we eat? Knowledge of Hashem. Knowing Hashem. We become one with Hashem. Ba'idra Rabbah, when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was sitting with together, there were 10 righteous scholars, dear women. 3 of them did not come back. 3 of them died, passed away. At that minute, their soul went out. Why? Because they felt the love of Hashem. God's love is unlimited. He does not have politics inside. You understand? No bad thoughts or different thoughts in this love. It's clean, it's pure. So this light of Hashem and this love of Hashem, they did not want to be disconnected from Him. So their souls went out and joined Hashem. 3 of His scholars. This is the light. Think about what happiness is. People that have clinical death, they say, there are a lot of research about it. They say that this light is so good, and this light has so much love, they don't want to, sometimes they do not want to come back. הם לא רוצים לחזור. So it gives you an essence of what happens on the other side if you're righteous in this world. If you do what Hashem wants you to do, dear women. So it says, "V'atorotem b'roshem v'nehnim miziv hashchina," and they enjoy this divine glory. They enjoy the light of Hashem, dear women. שנאמר, "ויחזו את האלוקים ויאכלו וישתו." This is their food. The food is in the mind. The soul gets to know Hashem more than we knew Hashem over here, because we cannot, אין לנו תחושה. We don't have a feeling and true understanding in our limited mind. Who is Hashem? We just know that Hashem created the world, and by His word, everything is in this world. In His word, He can create. In His world, He can ruin everything that is over here. In our studying of the Torah, we help Hashem to recreate the world every day. Every day, mamash. Because this is why the world was created. Why? So it says the world was created because God wanted to make a home for Him in this world. בתחתונים, דירה בתחתונים. רצה לברוא לעצמו דירה בתחתונים. Where is the home in this world, dear women? בעולם הזה, here, in this world, the physical world, over here. Once it became so physical like we are over here, we cannot see the spiritual side of all the physical things that are around us. Everything that is around us has a spiritual side. This table has a soul, a nefesh. That nefesh that is inside, this is how it looks like. But we cannot see it in our visual eyes. But once we go out, then we can see. There are righteous people who do see, even in the food, in everything that is in the world, dear women. People who slander people, they עוברים גלגול, resurrection, reincarnation. Reincarnation, dear women, in walls, in stones, lo alenu. This is a very harsh gilgul, a very harsh one. Because why? Because until the stone does not go away, the soul is still there, and the soul knows what it was before, who it was, if it was a prime minister, a very special person, how many children they had, everything, and it cannot do anything. Just think about the suffering. Or a soul that is in one of the food that we eat. For example, an apple, and they're waiting for us to bless.
But what about stone? And
everything. It takes time.
how can we help that soul?
By studying Torah and doing good deeds, and Be'ezrat Hashem doing what Hashem wanted us to do, all His commandments. This is why, because if we'll do that, and the most important thing with this is Ve'ahavta l'cha kamocha ani Hashem, and we will love each other, dear women, then Be'ezrat Hashem, Mashiach will be here. Mashiach will be here and everything is fixed. So dear women, in order to bring Mashiach, we need to change ourselves and to do exactly what God wants us to go with a kisui rosh. All married women, divorced, and widows need to go with a cover on their head. This is part of the fixing of Chava. So why is it so hard for us? Because the evil inclination does not want us to do that. He says, no, I don't want Mashiach to come because all of you did tshuva. So He doesn't let us. He makes obstacles on the way. We'll say, wow, we won't look nice, and maybe my siblings won't like it, and then I have, a social group that I'm with, and they will say, what happened to you? And then I have to answer them. These are only tests. Because once we decided to do what Hashem wants us to do, dear women, then God allows the evil inclination to test us, because He asks to test us. These are only tests. If we overcome the tests, everything is easy. There's no obstacle anymore. It's only this short period of time of test. It's the same. But no. Once you get your reward for this, you just need to overcome the test. When you are not sure of yourself, yes. I'll give you an example. It's like we educate our children. Young children, when they are young, they don't want to go to sleep and they start crying, and then we don't know what to do, and we move them to our beds, or we take them on our hands and we travel with them like kilometers and miles at home and they know that. The children are smart. They know that. So how do we overcome this test? By putting them in bed. We tell them to say Shema Yisrael. Even if they cry, we come to them. Yes, you're not going out of your bed. We are tough in order to show them who's the boss over here. And you will see, little by little, the child understands he cannot play with his parents. He's not the boss. The mother is the boss. And then after a while of testing the mother and the father, they calm down and they behave like they're supposed to behave. It's the same thing with our tests. The same thing. It's exactly the same thing. It's just a period of time that it's very harsh and hard because it's not easy. But then when we overcome the test, it's easy because the children listen to us and they're in bed on time. And this is because we overcome the test. So dear women,
you talked about stone. What about animals? They know their tikkun?
Betach, everything, same thing, except for human beings.
So they know what they want.
Yes, plants, stones, everything that is standing, stones, plants, animals, dear women, except for us. We forget where we came from, but we know what we need to fix. Anybody that's, yes. Why? Because anybody that is true with himself and he knows what is hard for him to do, this is his fixing. For example, if it's hard for me not to get angry, I know that anger is my fixing in this world. If it's hard for me to be tznuat, to be modest, to go with a shirt up till here, it's better up till here, but up till here it's also okay, just to cover over here, and to close over here, and to go with a cover on my head. If it's hard for me, I know it's my fixing. It's part of my fixing. I came again to fix it. So it's better that I fix it now. I don't need to come again. Yes.
Is it true that in every person's birth Shabbat, like there is the hints of their tikkun?
Ken, betach. Shabbat has it, but I won't go into it. It's Shabbat. I gave you a lesson last week about Shabbat. Shabbat has the secrets of the whole world. Look, 7 days God created the world. On the 7th day, 6 days He created. The 7th day He rested. It's parallel to everything that happens right now. Every 1,000 years is parallel to the day of creation. The first 1,000 years is parallel to the first day of creation. The second 1,000 years to the second. We are now before Shabbat. This is at 6,000 mamash erev Shabbat, which means Mashiach should reveal himself anytime ze yachol likro. Because אנחנו mamash erev Shabbat. Look at the 1,000 year. Okay, this. We are in the, now, okay? Before Erev Shabbat. So tell, Erev Shabbat. Look at it and just divide all the years, this 1,000, and in parallel to one day, 24 hours a day, and you will see we're Erev Shabbat already. So we are mamash, at the last step we are.
That's not what I meant.
Ken.
I meant that for every person's birthday, there was the cars like the Shabbat shel Yom Holedet, כאילו. So over there are the hints of that person's tikkun.
Yes, in Parashat HaShavua there is. נכון. But I told you I don't want to go into it now. אבל כן, בפרשת השבוע, everything that will happen to him, and everything what will be with him is in that Parashat Shavua that he was born, that week. Yes. The week. If you are born on Shabbat and it is, you have the Parashat Shavua Shel Shabbat, זה משהו אחר, but that week of Parasha, the Parasha has hints of what will happen to that person. כן, זה לא לחינם מחולק ככה. But let's continue. I will tell you something. מה? תשאר כוח. Dear women, thank you, in a minute. Listen, I didn't, Hannah, I know you wanted to ask me a question.
You answered it.
Thank you. Okay, dear women, let's continue. Thank you, God. Dear women, we just spoke that these 7 days of creation, I know they're translating, but pay attention. These 7 days of creation are parallel to the 7,000 years that the world is here. So look, the Ramchal says, בספר דעת ותבונות, he says, היה די, the first human being, היה די שהתחזק באמונה, it was enough that the first human being will be strong in his emunah, in his faith in Hashem, and not eat from the tree of knowledge, and won't go over the word of Hashem. וזה עד ליל שבת קודש. And immediately Mashiach was here, everything, it was paradise on earth, dear women. שאז היה הקדוש ברוך הוא עושה ביום אחד מה שהוא עושה עתה בסיטה אלפי סנין. God would have done לבריאות, אמת, in one day, dear women, and what he does now in 6,000 years.
למה? כאילו, מה זה?
If the first human being would have listened to Hashem, אם האדם הראשון היה שומע, what happens, all this fixing in this 6,000 years would be in one day. ממש ביום אחד. So listen, הרמח"ל בדעת ותבונות. So it's
more like deeply, not just don't touch, don't eat, just say like strict.
So dear women, listen. Another thing, he gave us the Torah. We just need to follow it. But let's continue. הרי שאחר החטא ניתן גבול חדש ו6,000 שנה. After the sin of the first human being, there was a different limitation. Instead of one day, 6,000 years. We are already almost there. שסופה מתבטלת תקופת ההשתדלות. At the end of them, there's no more making effort to bring Mashiach. זה נגמר, dear women. Why, dear women? כאמור, dear women, במאמר הגאולה של הרמח"ל, it says like this, בתוך 6,000 שנה, in these 6,000 years, the limitation of the effort that we make is limited also by the time that a person is alive in this world. נכון, is 6,000 years, but we're also limited. We are limited. It says, ימי שנותינו 70 שנה, ואם בגבורות 80 שנה. Okay? So, מה זה ימי? It says ימי. So, how many years do we live approximately, statistically? King David says, ימי שנותינו, ימי Yud is 10 in numerical value, Mem is 40, and another Yud is 10, together 50, 60 years, or 70 years, or 80 years. This is like a bell, okay? Like this. This is the 60 over here, okay? And over here, the ones that live, I should have made it the opposite. Okay, I'll do it like this. You know there's a bell in mathematics, so this is 60, here is 80. And over here, the ones that live until 100, 100 plus, and the ones that have shortened life. So King David says that we live approximately between 60 to 80 years, approximately. So there's a limitation. The Ramchal says we are limited, even in our effort. Why would we waste our time? Look to where we came through. Look at the economics in the world. Look how people love each other in the world. How nations love other nations in the world. There's enough food for everyone. There's enough place for everyone to live. But the prices of living is so high. It's very expensive to live in this world. It is. And look at us. Look where we come to, even here in the United States. Look what happens. Just look what happens around us. So we can see it all around us. We need to change ourselves. As human beings, we have the power to change ourselves. We have to, if we just remember that we are limited in this place, in this world, we come, and so our effort is also limited. Why would we waste it on nonsense? Hevel avalim amar Shlomo HaMelech. Everything is nonsense. Because once a person...
You change my mind, but a million people, they don't change.
But a change starts with one person. We know that by Avraham Avinu. One person, one candle. One candle is lit, then this candle lights other candles. V'et hanefesh asher asu b'charan. All of the souls that they converted. Which means one candle is enough. One candle is enough to make other candles light. So why would we waste our life? We should do what Hashem wants us. Don't we want our children to be happy? Isn't this more strong than the thing that we don't want to be modest or not to put a cover on our head? Doesn't this have more weight than this, that we are shy or don't feel comfortable among our friends that do not go modestly?
It's not only that, we're the light unto all nations. If we do what we're supposed to do, then the rest of the nations will follow suit.
Dear women, excellent remark. I would like to tell you something. If we loved each other and we wouldn't slander each other, Ishmael wouldn't slander us. We wouldn't have those problems with Ishmael. Because we are slandered all over the תקשורת. איך זה נקרא תקשורת? שפרח לי השם. Media. We are slandered all over the media. Dear women, if we wouldn't slander each other, this is how the world works. Midah keneged midah, measure for measure. If we'll keep our mouth, this is what we'll get. Be'ezrat Hashem. If we love each other, all of the nations will love us. We won't have any bothering from the nations. Why, dear women? I just told you last lesson. No nation, no tongue can touch the children of Israel. Why? Because Akol Kol Yaakov. The mouth, the speech is the speech of Yaakov. The sound is the sound of Yaakov. Yes.
Like the people who's religious and the nice, only limited inside the Jewish people, and like we live in jungle.
Oh, that's a good remark. No, Bella. Who needs to fix themselves? It's not only the ones that don't keep mitzvot. They can be very righteous people. They can have a good heart, but they don't know how to keep mitzvot, or they did not come to this stage to keep mitzvot. We truly don't have any freedom of choice. It's not that, well, I'll decide if to keep mitzvot and I will dress modestly. I need to decide to do that. Give me time. I cannot jump into it. Why was I raised to this way of life? Dear women, we do not have any freedom of choice. We came to this world to do exactly what Hashem wants us to do. How do we know what Hashem wants us to do? We open the Bible. We open the Torah. We open the Tanakh. Over there, Hashem tells us, this and this and this I want you to do. When you do all of this, you do all the commandments, you will see, you will be happy, you will prosper, you will be in Eretz Israel, you will have the third temple, all of the nations will come to worship Hashem in the third temple. No problems, no wars, no jealousy, no hate, no hatred, nothing. God tells us, we know. We always had encounters with all the angels from the next world, all the time. How do we know that? Even Hagar, the mother of Ishmael, she was accustomed with angels. Manoach and his wife, they saw the angel come to them, and immediately going to heaven, without, when we take a plane and we have to go on a plane, it takes that plane time in order to go to the sky, because he has to accelerate and then he goes up. But the angel doesn't have to do that. They come in and they go up immediately. So there was always time, all the time. We can see that connection between the true world and this world. There was always, but we lost it because now we think that we are very cultural, very sophisticated, because of the technology, the development of technology and science, and we lost this connection to nature. We lost ourselves. God forbid if something will happen. How many people can survive without electricity, without water? How many people do know how to grow their own food? God forbid if something happens, there will be such a chaos in the world. Just think about it. We are very spoiled, and we think that we are very wise. I'm sorry. But, generations before us, they were connected to nature. So they knew Hashem. We lost it. We became more physical by technology. It's true. We become more physical by technology. It's like a cut between us and spirituality. Because of this physical world, we lost something. It's not that we are more developed. Maybe we are more developed in the physical world, which is also a big question mark, which is not so true also, but we went back. The even inclination wants us to think this, because now it's dancing all over. It has a party, because before the end there's a big fight between good and bad, good forces and not so good forces. We think we are controlling it. We do not control anything. We can see that by nature. It was a good remark. We can see that by nature, dear women. We cannot control anything. Mamash shum davar, nothing. And the people who hold money for themselves and don't open their hands for others, miskenim, they're just poor, that they don't understand. Nobody is buried with their money. And if something happens to a nation and it goes bankrupt, I think, pshitat regel or something, it happens to all the citizens in that nation, in that country. It's not that we are separated, but the evil inclination works very hard in these times, dear women. So we go back to the Ramchal, dear women, and it says over there, we are limited in our efforts. We are limited in the time that we live in this world. So this is a limitation. So let's continue, dear women, and go back to the Rambam. So the Rambam says over here that the atara that there's on the head of the righteous people, the crown, is truly the knowing, hadat, knowing Hashem, dat et Hashem, knowing Hashem. It's not enough to have wisdom. It's not enough to have understanding. We have to know Hashem. Okay, I studied. I know there's Hashem, which means, and meanwhile, I'm still getting angry. I get angry on my husband. I don't think that he gives enough parnasa, enough income at home. And this neighbor made me angry. I'm jealous of this person. So it means that I don't truly know Hashem. I know him only from the surface, but in my heart I do not know Hashem. So the Rambam says, where is the merit and the sachar, the reward of a person that is righteous and does what Hashem wants him to do? He says, this merit, dear women, is in Olam HaNeshamot. Olam HaNeshamot. The world, yes, the world of the souls. This is Olam Habba. Olam Habba, by the Rambam, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, is Olam HaNeshamot, the world that when we have separation between body and soul, and the soul goes to a world that is Olam HaNeshamot. The Ramchal says a beautiful thing. The Ramchal said, רק לאחר שנגזרה מיתה על האדם, only after there was death on the human being because he ate from the tree of knowledge, good and bad, only then, and it had to be a separation between the soul and the body, then God created the world of souls. Because otherwise you don't need the world of souls. They are connected because even the body is spiritual. You understand? It's the body also spiritual. So there wasn't any need in the world of souls. Only after the first human being sinned, then he says, הוא צריך להיברא עולם הנשמות, לשכן בו זמנית את הנשמה, עד תחיית המתים. So, look, the Ravad says, Rabbi Avraham ben David, he says, and he writes Agaot b'Mishneh Torah l'Rambam. It's in the Agaot of Mishneh Torah l'Rambam. He says, how come the Rambam can say such a thing? Because it says that במסכת כתובות, עתידין צדיקים, שנייה, I need my glasses too. It's too small. עתידין צדיקים שיעמדו בלבושיהן. He says it's written במסכת כתובות that the righteous one are going to stand with their clothing. And then it says that everybody that was sick, God is going to heal him. בתחיית המתים. So how can a Rambam say that the reward will be only on Olam HaNeshamot? Because everybody will come in Tchiyat HaMetim. And he says, how does this man, it's a beautiful thing between the Rambam and the Ravad. He says, how can he write such a thing? Doesn't he believe, God forbid, in Tchiyat HaMetim, in resurrection? So the Rambam answers him, Bigrot Teman. He says, yes, I do believe in resurrection. But I know that the reward eventually, even after Tchiyat HaMetim, the Rambam, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon says, even after Tchiyat HaMetim, it won't be for eternity. The souls will be separated from the body, and the true reward for the righteous will be in the world of souls. The Ramban says, and the Ramchal says, but the Ramchal connects both of them. The Ramban says, Rabbi Moshe ben Nachman, he says this, B'Shar HaGmul, I wrote the books that we are using now. B'Shar HaGmul, he says, truly the Olam Habba, the reward of the true world, Olam Habba, will be in two places. One is Olam HaNeshamot, the world of Neshamot, of souls, and the other one's at Tchiyat HaMetim. Tchiyat HaMetim, dear women. One will be in the souls, in the world of Olam HaNeshamot, in the world of souls, and the other one will be in resurrection. Which means, why? Because En HaKadosh Baruch Hu mekapeach schar bria. It's written in Masechet Baba Kama that God does not מקפח, אני רשמתי לי את המילה. מקפח, אף אחד לא זוכרת פה. But I wrote it to myself. אין הקדוש ברוך הוא מקפח שכר בריאה. לא, deprives. The word is deprive. God does not deprive the reward from any creation that he created. For example, you remember the dogs did not bark when the children of Israel went out of the gate of the dogs from Egypt? So God gave them a merit. And we write, and in order to prepare the amulet to write the book of Torah, and in order to prepare, and also the dogs say, you say Perek Shirah, they say a song, Perek Shirah for Hashem. So, and we see that also that the amulet that we prepare, that we write on it the book of Torah, or mezuzah, or tefillin, dear women, part of the process of taking out the hair is with the waist of a dog. Dear women, so there's a merit, ממש, כן, חלק להוציא את השערות, חלק מהתהליך, חלק מהחומרים, זה מהפסולת של הכלב.
זה לא מהרצועות שלהם, של התפילין?
לא, אני מדברת על הקלף עצמו, כשמכינים אותו מהאור, from the leather. So dear women, God does not deprive any of his creation from a reward. So the Ramban says, how come God will give a reward only to the souls, and what about the body? What about the body? The body needs to also have, because the body was walking in order to do the mitzvah. Your hands, we prepared so that many, so we didn't prepare it with our hands and legs. So God has to give a merit also to the body. So the Ramban says, Tchiyat HaMetim, this is the merit, and it will be for eternity. They will be with their body, but this will be a spiritual world, more spiritual than physical, because there won't be any hatred, any jealousy, and all the tzaddikim will know Hashem, mamash lo b'mashal, not in a parable, but will know it, and will have this crown on their head, each one by the level that he studied in this world, the level that he wanted to come to.
Soul and body is going to be together?
Yeah, Tchiyat HaMetim, soul and body is together. The resurrection, soul and body are connected again. Why? Because they will get a reward. The body will also get, because you made an effort.
And what about only soul world?
So what does the Rambam say? The Rambam say the true merit will be only on the world of souls, because there won't be any physical thing. But the Rambam says there is resurrection, but the resurrection won't be for eternity. the souls will go back to the world of souls.
כאילו יהיה תחיית המתים.
ואחר כך הם יחזרו בחזרה, יהיה פירוד בין הנשמה. Which means that the soul will be again separated from the body, or all the body will become like Eliyahu Hanavi, and then it will go to the world of souls, because over there this is eternity. And over there this is the reward for souls. This is the,
Last stop.
sorry?
Where is the last stop?
So, there's no last stop, but I will tell you something.
Yes,
So what, yes.
We have salt or not?
Sorry?
Or like we're going to have a body with salt together?
Yeah, everybody agrees, all the rabbi agrees that there will be Tchiyat resurrection, because God says in the Bible that there's resurrection.
Separately.
But the Rambam says the true reward of the soul will be only in the world of souls. The Ramban and the Ramchal say no. The true reward will be only when they're together, connected. Because once they are separated, so the soul goes to the world of souls. If God forbid the soul in this world did bad things with the body, so it will pay for it in all the things that we studied about passing away from this world. And if not, it will be in heaven, in a special world that is only for souls. Ma?
If the neshama did something, it's going to be in kafah.
כף הקלע וגלגולים וגם גיהינום, all the things that we spoke.
Nothing going to become back again. We're not going to have children anymore. It's finished.
The world of souls, you don't have children over there. Not in this, like in the physical world.
To go back and come back, like just to.
So then there's the resurrection. The soul comes back. After Mashiach is over here, there will be resurrection and the connection between soul and body. Together they will be connected. So the Ramban says this is the true reward of the soul and the body. This is Olam Habba. All the questions about Olam Habba. So they say the Rambam says Olam Habba truly is Tchiyat HaMetim. This is Olam Habba. The Rambam, this is the Ramban. I'll write it over here. And the Rambam says, HaRamban, and then HaRamchal, they say, VeHaravad, all of them say the true Olam Habba is Tchiyat HaMetim. The connection. Sorry?
What does Ramchal mean?
Name
Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luchato. It's just initials of his name.
הוא אומר שיש לימיטד לתחיית המתים.
No, הרמב"ם אומר. הם אומרים שזה eternity. But the question, who knows truly what will happen? So both of them say, nobody truly knows what will happen. Nobody knows. We will only know, who knows? Only Hashem. Yes, only Hashem. This is what they, by their studies, came to, by analyzing the Torah. So only Hashem, Bezrat Hashem. When I hope that Bezrat Hashem that all of us will have the merit to be in Tchiyat HaMetim, and will have the merit to see Mashiach b'mera b'yameinu amen. So only then, Bezrat Hashem, we will know exactly what will happen. But these are giants in Torah that wrote this. These are giants in Torah that came to those conclusions. So we can see that the true merit will be part of the separation of death. The soul has the merit in heaven, if we have the merit. Heaven is also in this world. Because before the soul goes to heaven in the true world, there's heaven in this world. Gan Eden, Mamash. In this world, dear women. We just don't know where it is, in this globe. But Bezrat Hashem, when Mashiach will come, God will reveal the place. There's also hell in this world, connected to this world.
Isn't that the Bermuda Triangle that I was asking you about, if that's where hell is? Through that triangle?
זה משהו אחר. Dear women, there's also hell in this world, dear women, but we do not know the places. Bezrat Hashem, God is going to reveal everything when Bezrat Mashiach comes and there's Tchiyat HaMetim, then everything will be revealed.
In this Tchiyat HaMetim, like, let's say in this body, few neshamot. So which neshama, which body, which gilgul, we're gonna...
We spoke about it. Rachel is asking a good question. It says that the soul that did the last fixing, that finished the fixing. You remember I told you about Rabbi Akiva that was crying because he knew that he was a reincarnation of Zimri ben Salu, and he was crying because he knew that the body of Zimri ben Salu won't wake up because he finished the fixing. You understand? So why won't we finish the fixing? Dear women, I love you. We're going to continue Tomer Devorah. We're going to the next Bezrat Hashem.
But there's a lot of women going to be.
Sorry?
There's going to be a lot of women again.
Don't worry. God knows how to find a marriage for each woman. Don't worry. There will be a lot of men too, because we are going to pray for them. היא אמרה, יהיו הרבה נשים יותר מגברים. נכון?
אחרי תחיית המתים, people gonna marry?
אחרי תחיית המתים חיים. מה בין ימות המשיח לימינו אנו? רק שיבוד גלויות. כן, עולם כמנהגו נוהג. רק מה, יהיה פה גן עדן. Dear women, it will be just paradise over here. What is the difference between our days and the days of Mashiach? The days of Messiah, only Nashim Yekarot, that all the children of Israel will be in the land of Israel. There won't be any bad characteristic. All of the characteristics will be for good, dear women. And we will grow in Torah, Bezrat Hashem. And all the nations will know Hashem. And everybody will come. You know what we need to ask? We need to ask Bezrat Hashem that God will open in the third temple, in the temple that is in heaven, all the windows of the temple, that God will open all the gate of the third temple, the temple that is in heaven, in order that the temple in this world will also be built, Bezrat Hashem. I know it was a heavy lesson. I would like to bless all of you, Bezrat Hashem, that God will bring Mashiach במהרה בימינו אמן. שיגיע מבשר אליהו נביא זכור לטוב. לעולם יפרד אדם מחברו בדבר הלכה יחיד ורבים הלכה כרבים. That we will have the merit,